Woo! Hello, welcome to Friday Night Knits.
Hello.
My name is Becky.
I'm Amberly.
And I'm Becky Ray on Instagram and Ravelry.
And I'm Bingo Buttercup on Instagram and Ravelry, but I'm really bad about Ravelry.
All right, yeah.
I need to get better.
Yeah, I still haven't put last week's show notes on my Ravelry group, so I'm with you on that. This is Friday Night Knits. I think I said that. It's my knitting podcast, and I am in Midland, Texas.
And I'm from Dallas, Texas, but visiting Midland, so that's why I visited my friend
Yeah,
on her podcast.
She came to hang out. So
I've entered the domain, the very cute domain.
Yeah, not many people have been in here. Because I did clean up. My husband walked by a little while ago and he goes, "Wow, that's the cleanest that's been in a couple of years."
Well, I'm glad that I got to see all the awesome stuff everywhere. And I would have been happy. I was really thinking of like concocting like some kind of like paper bag to wear. So when you open the door, you were like, "What the?" I would be like, "This is so like I don't see any mess. You can just lead me to the screen, and I will just like then I'll just blinders so I don't see any mess. I don't care. I do not care. My house is insane."
So Amberly has a little thrifting podcast that she does, and it's really cute, and they're really, really super short, and they're hilarious. And so there will be some thrifting on my podcast today because she did some thrifting while she was in Midland.
Mm-hmm. I did. I found some good stuff, and I only spent $10.
Yeah, that blows my mind. So, we'll get the knitting out of the way and a couple of other things out of the way, and then we'll show thrift stuff. Yeah, and I'll show some stash enhancements I've got, and then I'll probably end it on a couple of Ask Me's, or one Ask Me for sure. And yeah,
cool.
So what are you knitting?
Let me show you. First of all, this is my cute bag. I got it at DFW Fiberfest. Our friend Sarah found it for me. It's by Diana Couture. It's a yarn owl little bag is what they call it. It's so cute. But inside is I'm knitting a shawl called Lala's Simple Shawl. It's pretty simple and very good for me as I'm a little crazy when it comes to following a pattern. Like I'm just sort of like, I just need something very basic. So anyway, this is it, and it's
Savvy Skeins.
What the heck? Savvy Skeins. Windy Sky. Really, really pretty. I love it. It reminds me of like not only the beautiful story behind the Windy Sky, but kind of looks like My Little Ponies in a blender, is what I said the other day. Because it's
Little Ponies in a blender.
In a nice way.
Does, yes.
It's just like pastel and cute. It reminds me of like
all blended together.
Yeah. Anyway.
Cool.
You're knitting. I saw you last night. You were knitting
my R2 socks.
Which I'm really jealous about that.
Still.
I wanted to get some so bad. I missed the boat.
Here's my socks. But there's my... So I've done...
They're so cute.
A couple inches since
I
last podcast. So I think I'll be throwing the heel in soon. And then hopefully just a short cuff, because I don't think I'm going to make them very long, because I don't like long socks anyway. And these will be done. So that's really all I've been knitting on is, well, okay. This is all, I didn't knit on this much because I got sidetracked this week.
Ooh.
We have our knitting group meets on Sundays once a month. And it's usually with a lot of people that want to learn how to knit. So our friend Franny teaches knitting quite often. And this last Sunday, I had the fortune or misfortune of sitting next to a student that's been driving Franny crazy.
Oh, really?
But I didn't know that that's who I was sitting next to.
Mm-hmm.
So she had a question at one point in time, and Franny walked over and answered it, and then she said, "If you have any more questions, ask Becky."
Sort of like me and you at the Laura Nelkin class.
Yeah.
Where I was like the newbie of all newbies, and I was like, help me. And you're like, go away, crazy.
No, I wasn't.
You were very
telling
sweet.
You,
You
to
were
go away.
very sweet. With your eyes, though, I thought you were like, oh, I'm embarrassed that you're here. But no, you're very sweet about it. No. Anyway.
But this girl, she has apparently knit a couple of squares here and there, done some knitting and some purling, but that's, I think, all. And she picked this pattern that she wanted to do, and I printed it out because I'm going to take it with me next time. And it's called Treads, and it's fingerless gloves. It's not like a gauntlet that cuts off its fingers. It's actually got the finger part knit short way up. So that'll be fun. But one of the first things it does is it has a ribbing, and then it has a knit, and then it has a lateral braid. And when you have a new person trying to knit and they throw a term at you that you've never heard, and I was like,
this girl's ambitious.
yeah. And I was like, well, Google it. And then I Googled it, and I watched a video, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. And then she cut this lesson short. She had to go or something. So she left, and we had a discussion on if she listens to people that are trying to teach her, or if she just does what she wants to do. And Franny was ready to just tell her, you can't come anymore because I've tried and you're not taking my advice and blah, blah, blah. And I was behind that. And then we got home and I love to teach. I love to teach people things. And my brain would not let it go.
Yeah.
So here's the starting cuff of that goofy little gauntlet. So it has that ribbing.
It's so pretty.
And then it has that lateral braid right there, which is a really neat stitch. It's,
see? And you learned.
Yeah, I learned to stitch. So it's pretty common, and
That's pretty.
I think it's Estonian knitting or something. And it's got this cool, that weave waffle kind of thing, and all that is alternating knits and purls. It's a knit and purl, and then a slip stitch stuff. So, and then there's another lateral braid, and then my bind off looks like a lateral braid. So it, and this was just, I just bound it off to get it off the needles, but now I know what she wants to learn. So I think I can teach it to her the next time she's there. She's also using, I think, size, her needles looked huge. I didn't pay attention to any of that stuff. So for one, she's going to have to switch needles, because the pattern calls for a 5, and she's going to have to listen to me. But now I know what she wants to learn, so I think I can teach it.
You're so good.
Yeah. So this is what I did all day Sunday, was I knit this about 30 times. Rip it out, and then knit it again, and then rip it out, and then knit it again.
I think that's why I'm a bad knitter. I mean, I love to knit. I enjoy it. I'm not saying like I knit badly, but I have to work on my patience and my perseverance. Like when I mess up, I just have to do it again.
Well,
I'm just so like, blah, let's move on.
I think I'm a very patient person. I've been told that, and as long as I see someone attempting it, I don't usually lose my cool. But this girl wasn't really seeming like, I was doing a lot of this stuff for her. I was showing it to her, and then she didn't seem to want to do it for herself, almost like she wanted somebody to do it for her. But I think that was just because she was completely lost. So now I know what she wants, and I'll just knit with her. I have that bag packed and ready to go for next time.
So sweet.
Yeah.
Speaking of somebody doing, like, with knitting, like, wanting somebody to do it for them, I don't know if this is true, but a few years ago I heard that Tori Spelling she likes to knit, but she doesn't cast on. Like, she has someone cast on for her. What? Tori Spelling, get with the program. Casting on is not hard. I'll never forget that.
That's kind of funny. That's a really weird story.
Yeah. And it's not like I don't know her, obviously. I guess I could be misinformed.
Now I need to Google that. That's fun. I mean,
I swear.
I mean, I kind of understand if it's like 300 stitches for a shawl.
I don't know. I like to cast on.
Yeah. I have certain cast-ons that are my zen, and they're very rhythmic, and I love them, so that's funny.
I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me in the comments. Be like, get your story straight,
Get your
lady.
story straight. It was Donna Summer, not Tori Spelling. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
And the only other thing going on is we decided on a pattern for my local group for a knit-along.
Oh, I missed that.
You know how we're going to do that?
Yeah, I'm gonna be part of it, even though I'm working remotely.
The pattern we chose is Cassiopeia. I don't know how you say that. I don't think that's Cassiopeia, because Cassiopeia is spelt different, right?
It reminds me of Calliope, but with S's.
Cassiopeia.
I was gonna name, if I had a daughter, I was gonna name her Calliope.
Were you?
Yeah, I didn't know.
She has boys, and her boys have the most amazing names, such cute names. They're Gatsby and Guthrie. Are they from The Great Gatsby and from
Woody?
Woody Guthrie?
Woody and Arlo Guthrie.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's what they're named after.
That's so cool.
Well, me and Will met working at Half Price Books, at a bookstore, and we both love Great Gatsby, the book itself. And so when he was in high school, he had always said he wanted to name his son Gatsby, but no girl was ever like down with that. And so when we found out that we were having a boy really early on, he was like, "Do you want to do that?" And I was like, yeah, let's do it, because our last name's Johnson, so it's like really basic.
Yeah.
So anyway.
So yeah, that would have been cool. Good name for a girl.
Calliope Johnson.
Calliope. Yeah.
No more children for me.
No?
No.
You're done with those two boys?
I forgot to dedicate this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Or at least my half of this podcast.
Oh, the whole thing.
This is dedicated to our friend Jen, who is so sweet.
Mm-hmm. She's babysitting those boys.
And she is watching my crazy boys. And hopefully she, when I get back to her, she's not my friend anymore. She still will be.
No, those boys are adorable.
Yeah.
Surely
they have fun with her daughter. So.
Ooh, that was a shaky. Did you see that earthquake I just created?
No. Too busy knitting and rambling and just enjoying you.
So, I think that's pretty much all I have knit-wise. I'm such a slacker. I should really have called this a procrastination web podcast. Procrastinating. Ooh, that would have been a good name for it.
That is a good name.
I might have to rename my podcast. I'd have to write that down and practice it a lot.
I know.
Procrastinating.
I procrastinate everything. I'm
gonna write that down. I need a pen.
I think Franny stole my pen earlier.
I clean. Oh, there's one. I clean so I don't have stuff everywhere. Procrastinating.
Because I procrastinating. Procrastinating, which is what I do all the time at my house. Like, I'll get something new from the thrift store, and then I'll be like, "Oh, this needs to go up on the wall," and then it's like, "Oh, let's move everything around," and yeah.
Okay, so, I tell you what, I'll talk about my new yarn.
Okay, yeah.
While you finish a row.
Okay, yeah.
And then you can show us all your cool thrifted goodies. She's got some cool thrifted goodies. She showed me a preview.
You had a preview.
So, put my pattern up. The first couple I'm going to show you are some, when I was cleaning today before she came over, I found some yarns.
Ooh.
Tucked away in boxes in amongst dolly clothes.
Ooh.
And they are these two. And this one is dyed in the wool from Spin Cycle Yarns.
That's so pretty.
And it's a mustardy yellow and green with some brown poling. And I bought this in Seattle, Washington 2 years ago. I went for a BlytheCon, and the BlytheCon was on Saturday. My cousin lives in Seattle, and so that Saturday while I was spending money on dolly things, my husband was walking around Seattle, mostly Pike Market, and everything with my cousin and her husband. And they walked past a little yarn shop, and my cousin knits.
Oh.
My husband looked at her and he goes, "Oh, help me remember where this is so I can bring Becky tomorrow."
That's
So sweet. So
Super.
this was the yarn I picked up there. And really funny, when we went to Stitches, Texas back in September, it was the first yarn festival I went to. And I talked my daughter into going because she had just started knitting this past year. And she fell in love with some of the dyed-in wool that was there. And then she didn't buy it. It sold out before she could get any. So I ordered her some online. And then I found this. I was like, that's why that looked so familiar.
Let me see.
So it's nice.
So cute.
And then the other one is, speaking of Stitches, Texas, this is Madeline Tosh Merino Light. And this was in their, this was the exclusive colorway for the Stitches, Texas. It's called Blue Lacy, which is the state dog of Texas. They're a...
didn't know that.
Yeah, it's... Blue Lacies are... They remind me of Weimaraners almost. Kind of Labradorish, but they're a really neat color. Kind of a darker color than a Weimaraner, I think. I could totally be giving y'all a bunch of BS, but I'd swear that's what that is. So these were two yarns that I knew I had the Blue Lacy somewhere. I just didn't know where it was, and I found it today. And this I just totally forgotten about. So more yarns to add to my growing stash of stuff that I should stop buying. But that did not stop me from buying 2 new yarns. The first one is, this is one of the podcasts I've been watching here lately, This Boy. And it's David in Scotland. And he's like a scientist, like some kind of biological science. I think he works in a hospital or a lab or something. But
check it out.
He's a couple of things that are so cute on his label. He puts when he died on it. He puts the date, and talks about just hand washing it to preserve it. But it is superwash. But this is the one with the bronze stellina in it. It's probably not going to show up.
It's so
but
pretty.
It's gorgeous. And it's called Bronze Goddess. So I got this from David, and I also grabbed one of his project bags, and it's these little owls,
So cute.
and it says good night, and there's little Z's, and it's this origami style bag that he sews up. So it's got the little flaps, like you can use those as extra pockets on the sides, and it's more owls on the inside, and inside the origami is just a cream. So yeah, cute little bag. I love the way this is sewn. This reminds me of the type of bags my granny would sew. So I really love this construction, and he says there is a tutorial coming out.
It's really like a sturdy bag.
Yeah, it's fun.
So pretty.
It's cute. I love that fabric.
That's adorable.
It reminds me of the Tootsie Roll Pop cell. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? So, yeah, there's that. And then the last thing is from Instagram and Skein Cocaine, which I gotta quit following her because I really need to stop buying wool because I'm going to Boston. We are staying in Salem. And I did a little Ravel research, and there's a yarn shop in Salem called Circle of Stitches, which I love.
That is amazing.
So, but this was kind of hard to pass up. It's Blue Sky Fibers, which used to be Blue Sky Alpaca, but now they're doing wool and alpaca, I guess. So it's 21 skeins, mini skeins of worsted weight. And it came with this great slouchy beanie pattern that you stripe. So, yeah, I need a worsted wool hat, like a hole in the head. But then again, I need a worsted wool striped beanie. I think it's just fun. And if it's too hot, then I'll just make it out of random fingering as well and just adjust it. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a groovy pattern. And it's all of these colors. Look at this.
That is amazing.
So, yeah. So that was my shopping. That's all of my purchases here lately.
Well, I'm being really slow with this. I'll just stop. I'm almost done. Hopefully I won't drop stitches like I did. Okay, so should I show my yarn that I got at Fiberfest or my thrifted stuff?
Whichever.
Okay, I kind of want to show my yarn because this is like me pretending I'm on a knitting podcast.
Okay.
Yay. Okay.
Hey, you are on a knitting podcast
I know.
today.
Okay, so while Becky and I in our knitting group were back in April, we went to DFW Fiberfest, and so I picked up some of this beautiful. Where's the camera's here?
Yeah.
Okay. Here? Right there. Okay. This is the Martian Rainbow mustache yarn.
I must have missed that one. I love that.
I think Sarah got some too. It was just hard to pick.
I really like her Sesame Street too, and I didn't buy it either.
That was the first that I got, and I love it. It's great. I love it so much. But I've never done the OCD.
Yeah.
And that's
It's
what the
pretty
R2. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
excited
pretty cool.
about that. And then we, Becky and I both have this Life on Mars from Lone Star. They're so cute. In fact, I told you about it. I was like, we have to
I had it fit. Yeah, when I saw it.
It was so good. I cannot wait. What are you going to make with yours?
I think I might do the Casio whatever.
Then I should do that too, and we should have
Ooh, we'd have
twins.
Twinkie shawls.
Double Twinkies. that sounds
That would
delicious.
be kind of fun.
That would be fun. And then I got Blazing Pansy. Our friend Leslie got me this from Lone Star Art.
That's pretty.
I love it.
Look at that pink.
I know, I love that.
Oh, those colors.
And then I picked up some Western Sky knits. DK weight. This was like cheap. I think
Was
it was
that
like
in
$10 or something.
Yeah, that
It was-
bin they had on the last day.
I'm a sucker
They had like
for
a $10
bargain.
bin. Yeah.
And then last thing, this was my last purchase, was the Tumbleweed yarn.
Oh, that is so
Acapulco
pretty.
And Mint Fizz.
Yeah.
So squishy and good.
What did you say about these earlier?
Oh, I said that Mint Fizz sounds like a drink that you would have when you're in Acapulco.
So they definitely need to be a shot together.
Yeah, I think so. So, not the, not the biggest stash I have. But I mean, I don't have the biggest yarn stash, but I think I have good
You got impressive
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Because what I collect is a bunch of shit from the thrift store. Oh, sorry. Pardon my French. I was trying not to cuss. I don't want to alienate your viewers. So,
all the people that know me can't believe that I don't cuss on the podcast, so we're good.
I meant to say crap. Okay. Oh, excuse me.
Show us some stuff.
Okay, so this is my newest, acquisition thrift store
The
wise.
stuff you found here in Midland.
Yeah, which my favorite, when I used to live in Midland, I loved going to Helping Hands on Saturday because it's just, nothing's priced. You walk in and it's like, one time I went real crazy and like filled up a whole cart, but it was only like $20 for like a whole entire cart. So, but usually I go in there and it's like $5.
Yeah.
Which I went twice and I spent $5 both times.
There you go.
Anyway, I got this cute little floral yarn needlepoint.
Yeah, that's cute.
It's real cute. Like it.
Flowers.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for like cute flowers. This was made in, it was framed in Denton, Texas. There we go.
Yeah.
And then this monstrosity that I couldn't tell if I liked or not, but I determined I do like it.
That looks like it was pulled out of my floors in junior high and turned
It's like
into
shag carpet for your wall.
Yeah.
And it has like the cute butterflies. The colors aren't my favorite, but they're growing on me. I don't know.
They're very 70s, that avocado and mustard.
Yeah, and
variegated.
Yeah.
Oh, it feels awful.
This is not cuddly carpet that you want to fall asleep on.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so I'm excited about that. And the good thing, like with this, I was like, if I ever don't want it, like I'm sure somebody, I can sell it on Instagram or whatever. Somebody would want it. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see.
Because there's suckers on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker on Instagram for sure.
Me too. Got some cute little Flower Power parfait glasses. I had a really good sundae out of them while staying with my sister-in-law. I like a magnet for mugs. So like I have these mugs and they're marked Japan.
I love those.
Yeah. Oh, let me tell you a story about these. So I found this one and it was in a shopping cart full of coffee mugs within Helping Hands. And so I was looking around to see if there was another one.
Oh yeah, they're not
the same, but they're from the same set.
Yeah.
Like, they're usually like stacking, like maybe like 4 or 6.
Yeah.
So I'm at the checkout and my sister-in-law's like, oh, you only have one of those mugs. I saw another one. I thought maybe you had already seen it and you didn't want it. And I was like, no, there's another one. Like, go get that now. And I had already paid by the time she got up there. And then, so it was, the lady was like $5. And I was like, oh, wait, I need this mug. And she was like, it's included. And I'm like, yes. So I was so happy that Cherokee was like, a good helper.
Those are cute.
Yeah, I love them.
Are you going to show the creepy?
Oh, yeah, sorry. So this is 1983 McDonald's Hamburglar that looks like a ghoul.
He does. He looks kind of creepy.
But my husband collects McDonald's cups.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, like the glasses. And so I was like,
pick him up something for $1 or a quarter or a dime.
He's a collector. Yeah, this was, I don't even know. Everything was like, I guess I could, divide it up and be like, oh, okay, everything was 50 cents. Good mug. I like the handle. I like all the handles on this. Like, this one is like oval, and this one's like that, and this one. Anyway.
Yeah, I like that.
Sometimes I need help holding my coffee cup. Like early in the morning, it's like I need all the help I can get.
Because you got those 2 boys.
Yeah. And then I got this dress, which
I love this.
So colorful.
House dresses should be a thing again.
I have a lot. I wear them all the time.
Nice.
Out in the world, not just in the house. But yeah, it's so cute, and I love, like, it's so colorful and cute. And it smelled terrible. Like, it smelled like, like when I washed it.
Smelled like Aunt Jean.
Smells good. It smelled like a cigarette.
It smells like laundry detergent.
Yeah.
Like
it smelled like a cigarette, like that had been like in the bottom of a garage for 90 years. But I like that it has recipes on it because it's like, oh, what do I want for lunch today? Maybe I'll have what's on my butt here, salad dessert. What the hell? What is what is that word?
Barladuke?
Is that
no idea?
Is that like if you go in the grocery store, you're
we'll
like,
Google
excuse me, I need this. It's on my
tomato pie.
Tomato pie.
Ooh. They eat weird things in the 50s and 60s.
And I'm pretty sure this is a Jell-O mold.
Barladuke.
Right here.
I'm Googling that while you show stuff.
Okay. Yeah, here you go for reference. Okay. And a few more things. I got this cool Homeco, very groovy mushroom, frog, butterfly, little landscape. It's like plastic wall hanging. I'm going to put it in my... I really want to turn my backyard into like an oasis. Like my friend Nikki has a really cool junk garden where she has like all this, it's very colorful and kitschy, and she can garden, so she has live plants, which I might not.
Cool.
But anyway, I was inspired. I want to have like a really nice backyard for summer, and so I'm going to put this out there so it's funky too. And then I have this tablecloth But the kicker of this tablecloth are these huge pom-poms.
Yeah.
They're very
I'm
big.
almost certain my mother had a house coat with those pom-poms on it.
Really?
Yeah.
These are like extreme pom-poms. They're so big. But I love them. And I love the colors of this. And when I was at Helping Hands, there were two. One had a hole cut in the middle, like for an umbrella. So I just got the one that was, not with a hole in the middle. But the next day when I went back, I was like, I'm still going to get that one with the hole in the middle. Like, I want two. But somebody had bought it. So it was gone. Missed it. But it's okay. I still got a good one. Yeah, so that's, I also got another blue suitcase because I literally have like 5 blue suitcases at home. I have an obscene amount of suitcases in general.
It's a jelly. It's a French jelly.
A French jelly. Does that...
Probably to set it up. It's probably like a...
So French dressing, blueberries, endive leaves, peach, orange, honeydew, cherries. French jelly. Maybe I'll make it for my brunch and I'll tell you how it goes. I'm gonna make like good stuff, but then also.
But you do that, don't you do like parties for people and you do like kitschy things?
Yeah.
Like take the decorations in for them?
Yes, I did a baby shower for my friends. That was the most recent one. I did a baby shower and then I did a birthday party for a little girl. It's mostly my friends that say,
hey, can we borrow some of your crap?
Can you come decorate for us, like using all your weird stuff? Which which I'm very flattered by and I love. But there's a company in Dallas called Rent My Dust, which basically she's me on, with a warehouse.
Nice.
And she does awesome, really like weddings and really
Dust.
cool stuff like photo props.
Cool.
She's on Instagram, Rent My Dust. She's really nice. Anyway, so yeah, that's all my vintage stuff I found that I'm going to show you. I have a few. I left
that's
some
all
of
you
my
brought
stuff.
in? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It fit in the suitcase nicely.
Cool.
Thank you for letting me be here.
This was fun. All of my favorite podcasts are podcasts with multiple people because it's just, I think it's more fun.
It's fun.
I feel a little weird sometimes just talking to myself.
I do too.
Yeah. But I don't do mine at 3 a.m. like somebody I know.
My children have to be asleep.
Oh, you have to blame it on your children. Yeah, I guess you would have to get them asleep.
Like my gummy bear earrings?
I did. I put on earrings just for you.
Aw, I did that too. I was like, I wanted to impress you. My ears.
You put on makeup, I didn't.
I did.
You did. That was sweet.
I'm vain. And then I sweat it all off driving 40 minutes.
Yeah?
To drop off my children and then come here.
These are my ideas for that Cassiopeia or Cassio whatever.
Well, I wrote this one.
Either Life on Mars. This was dyed by one of the local dyers, Shanity. Did you ever meet Shanity, the redhead?
I did. I spent a lot of time with her, but I met her and she's so sweet.
She is. She hasn't been doing it a lot lately, but I really love these colors, but maybe not. And then I thought, well, I could just go tonal and it would be wear with everything, but this,
I would like to have
it could be done.
A Twinkie shawl with you.
That would be fun.
It would be fun.
Yeah.
Hey, can I ask you a question? I know we're moving on to this, but I think that you came to the knitting group right before I was going to leave.
Yeah.
So I was the new girl, and then I think you were the second.
Yeah, I think it...
Like, you were the new girl after I left.
Yeah, one of my first times to the knitting group was when y'all had that anniversary party. I think it was at your house or something.
No,
was at Franny's?
No. When I lived here, I lived in a terrible... I lived in a trailer. It was for Will's company, company housing. Inside the closet.
Like a man camp?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Actually, maybe not. I don't know. It wasn't extreme, terrible. Man camp sounds scary.
Man camps are just small trailers, and it's usually oil companies.
Well,
and they just put up their workers, and sometimes they get family out there. But
this was a really old trailer.
Yeah.
Inside the closet said "Welcome to Shitville." I know I cussed again, but I had to because it was.
That's crazy.
And when we opened it up, we were like, "Oh dear!" Like,
yeah,
it wasn't spray painted or anything. It was Sharpied.
That's awesome. Well, y'all were y'all had been at y'all had a 1 year anniversary, and like, I think
we made a piñata.
Yes, y'all had.
I don't remember who made it, but
yeah,
it was awesome, and we cut it with a sword.
Yes, I knew there was a sword involved. That's when I knew I was going to love y'all.
Yeah, because I was so sad that I was like, this girl seems really cool. I want to.
Yeah.
You are really cool.
So I usually see you now at Christmas time, and when we go to DFW for fiber.
And I'm going to come to Stitches now next time because I didn't get to because I was working that day.
Yeah, you were doing that stuff. We did Cards Against Humanity the night before. That was fun.
It was fun.
It's a little weird playing Cards Against Humanity with your child.
Daughter.
Your child there.
Your daughter's so cool.
It was weird, but yeah, she's hooked. She's ready for Stitches too.
Awesome.
So,
okay, so what I meant to say was, so how did you hear about the knitting group? Like, was it on Ravelry?
No, Keely.
Oh.
Keely would come into Freebirds all the time.
Okay.
And I don't remember.
She wore you down.
Well, what's really funny is Veronica told me about it like 6 months before that.
Oh.
Because I ran into her the other day.
Really?
She's doing really good.
Good.
And yeah, Veronica had told me about it, but I was always so busy at work that I really didn't have time to do anything. And then Keely would come in all the time, and we were talking one day. She was showing me her Halloween costume from a couple years before or something. When Addie, what's her daughter's name? Addie. Addie Bug, yes. When she was little, and it was like an Ewok and all the Princess Leia and all of that, and I was like, oh, that's so cute. And she was like, there was some kind of knitting involved somewhere, and I said, oh, I knit too. And she goes, oh, you should come to our knitting group. And
thanks, Keely.
Yeah, she would come and tell me. So I finally showed up one day.
Yeah.
And
with Homer.
Yep.
You introduced me to Blythe.
I did.
And you gave me a Blythe doll.
I did give you a Blythe doll.
And I really love her.
Yeah, you got the one that's
Scrappy Doo.
Yeah, it was customized by Joey and Jess. Because Jessica
I follow both of them on Instagram.
Yeah.
Now.
Jessica did her carving and stuff, and I think he changed out eye chips and he cut her hair. So, yeah.
Very nice. Thank you.
I gave Leslie one too.
Yeah.
That's how I whittled down my collection without having to like sell them, because that's such a pain in the ass.
Well, we appreciate it. Because, in fact, every time my littlest sister-in-law, she's 16, she comes over to babysit, she's like, can you put that away? I'm like, I have dolls everywhere in this house. She's like, but that one.
That one is creepy.
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
She's adorable. I'm a crazy doll lady.
Well, Z's had one of my dolls for probably close to a year now.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to give her that. I don't think I'm going to ask for it back.
Oh. I thought you were going to be like, I'm not going to give it to her.
But I think I'm going to give it to her. But, well, she watches, so.
Forget what you think. This is all a joke. No.
She just needs to, take pictures of it.
I know. I need to take. I feel like I know.
I never see pictures of yours. I see pictures of Pinky occasionally.
You know what? I'm going to make an effort, a very strong effort. Because for a while I was, and then I'm just so distracted. But if I'm taking a picture of a shelfie, I'll just hold her in front of the shelfie.
Yeah. Yeah, I love your shelfies.
I feel like people get real annoyed with my shelfies. Like, they don't put up with that crap.
I think they're fun. I'm
like addicted to it. I have to do it. It's like a release for me to be like.
I told my husband, because he's watched your podcast with me, and he's like, wow, there's a whole lot going on there.
I feel like
and I'm like, what's crazy is she like changes them for the seasons and for the holidays and stuff. I said, which is nuts, because we had a Christmas wreath on our front porch where that Star Wars one is
I like
for a good 2 years. But Bill said it wasn't exactly a Christmas wreath because it was apples and it didn't have anything Christmassy on it. But let's face it, we pulled it out of the Christmas box when we hung it up, and then we just never took it down.
Well, you're talking to a person who has Christmas decor, Halloween decor, Easter decor up all year round.
Yeah.
So it's just like you walk into my house and it's like Pee Wee Herman's house. Like I seriously like I feel like Pee Wee's Playhouse was like my main inspiration.
That's an awesome inspiration.
But like an old lady version of Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Oh, old lady version.
Mm.
That's a pretty good one. That's
I like that. That sounds good to me.
Yeah. He
I'm sorry, I don't even know what we're saying.
Say.
But I'm glad to hear that Keely brought you to us.
Yeah. I'm glad. Because I was in a group before that I hadn't hung out with for a couple of years or more.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all much older than me. And I'm like one of the oldest out of all of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, a little bit.
Yeah, I'm probably the oldest.
Well, you're young at heart.
Yeah, something like that.
But you're not like the mother hen of it. You know, it's not like... It's just a better fit.
I don't have to mother y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, one of the first... I think it was the first time I went.
Mm-hmm.
For sure it was the first time after I met Azar.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back and I told Bill, I said, these people drop the F-bomb just as much as I do. I'm going to love them. It's fantastic.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Is that the F-bomb you're talking about?
No, that's not the F-bomb. We all know the F-bomb. It'll pop up eventually in my podcast. I just know it will. And I'll be like, oh, I should edit that out. But I haven't figured out how to get that savvy with my editing yet.
I need to learn a lot of things about podcasting.
I need to learn how to okay, so I do it all on the iPad.
Mm-hmm.
I've been shopping for cameras.
Mm-hmm. I do.
And then I'm like,
iPhone.
I need now I need an iBook so that I can have a computer and do all the editing there, not on my PC.
I want one of those.
It could be a deep dark hole that I'm gonna fall down, but that's okay.
Why are our hobbies so expensive?
I mean,
I have a cheap. Actually, thrift store stuff is pretty cheap, but I go every day, so it adds up.
Well, and I tell Bill all the time I could be out drinking with this money instead, but I'm too cheap for this. So I think that's it. Except somebody asked me how I got into Blythe.
Mm-hmm. I would like to know that too.
And I can't remember her name, but she asked me on my YouTube. So I got into Blythe because of knitting.
Mm-hmm.
When I joined on Ravelry, there were a lot of people that had Blythe pictures as their avatars.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the first groups I was in, which I'm not in anymore, I met a girl named Rebecca. And she posted one day, it said, who in here has Blythe dolls? Who wants a Blythe doll? Fill me in on this. Mm-hmm. So Rebecca looks into it and she's talking, a few people got interested, but I jumped on it. And I was like, well, I looked at them before, but they were always too expensive because I worked at Starbucks, and Starbucks does not pay their employees that much. You work there because you love coffee, free coffee, and benefits. You certainly don't work there to get rich. But hey, it was a fun job with perks, good perks, just not cash perks. Insurance, education, free coffee. So she found a few, and we got to talking. So she ordered one, and then she posted for like a week, and I caved. But I bought a pull-up first, which is another doll that she's jointed, and her features are finer, her head's smaller, and I hated her. When she got here, I took her out of the box and was like, ugh. Because I was not a girly girl growing up. I was very much tomboy. I didn't have dolls. I had a few Barbie dolls here and there, but my Barbie dolls always ended up with their hair hacked off and like hanging from strings from my canopy bed or something. So I was not a girly girl. So I had her for a little while, and then I went and bought a Blythe. My first Blythe came in, and when I opened it and looked at it, I was like, "Oh, I'm screwed." So it went from 0 dolls in the house to I had 6 within a 2-month period.
Whoa.
Yeah. And it was, I bought...
Are they in this room right now?
No. The only ones from the very beginning are, my daughter has one of them, and I sold all the others.
Okay.
Rebecca, the girl that started me on it, actually, my very first one she bought, and she customized it to a Coraline doll, like with the button eyes and everything, and it's really cute. And she was going to sell it, and a lot of people really wanted it, and then her daughter was like, "Can't sell it." So she gave it to her daughter instead. But I'll show you pictures of that one because it's pretty sweet. So I bought, I think out of these, the oldest one here is probably Homer. Yeah. But, and age-wise, Homer's the oldest. She was put out in 1991, I think.
What year is all this happening that you're talking?
2007, 2005. I guess I've had the dolls for about 10 years. Something like that. I'd have to look, have to check my dates on Flickr. So, but yeah, that's how I got into it, was because of knitting. So, and Rebecca, she doesn't collect as much anymore. You two would get along really well. She's very much a thrifter, but her thing is Bakelite.
Okay.
She is.
I don't own any Bakelite.
She is.
But I know what it
rabid
is.
about Bakelite jewelry and furs.
Ooh. She's on Instagram?
Yeah, a squirrel junkie.
Okay, I'll follow her.
And she does. She
I
used
have
to do a
some
lot of.
furs in my collection.
Yeah,
but I
she
don't.
used to do a lot of
Send it to her.
almost a brooch Friday or something.
Novelty brooch.
Novelty brooch Friday or
yeah.
something. Yeah, and
Novelty brooch Friday.
And yeah, she does a lot of that kind of stuff. But she also has Lyme's disease.
You know what? I
and
know.
It's kicked her butt.
Oh my gosh. I was just about to say, my friend Jessica Scarlett, who does Blythe's custom stuff, it's Dear Girl Face. I've been meaning to tell you about her. I don't know if you've seen her stuff.
I think I have.
I love her stuff. I want one so bad. She has Lyme's disease.
Yeah.
And it's, it's rough.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Rebecca is going on 7 or 8 years of it. And it took forever to diagnose. So she got out of Blythe's when it took over because she couldn't work on them anymore. It was too hard. It really hurt her. And she went through all the various things. And so, but her husband, he works on BMW motorcycles. And she does a whole, 50s style clothes and dresses and stuff. And yeah,
I'm excited.
she's adorable. So it's because of her. When she first was on Ravelry, her name was Girly Knit, something like that. And I used to tell people it was all her fault. All her fault.
The blame goes to you.
So, yeah, but
I'm trying to think if I can blame somebody for one of my obsessions. I've been thrifting my whole life, so my mom started that. But one of my things that I love is like the vintage baby planters, like the really cutesy pastel colored.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to think like when I first, it wasn't a person. I first bought one in Midland when I was living here at the Goodwill. It was a little seal playing a French horn. And it had a
that is so funny.
It was broken, and they still wanted $3 for it, and I was like, no. But then I went back and got it, and I think that was like the first one that I bought. Like my mom or my grandma had given me like a lamb before that, but that really got me into it. But I come up with my own obsession. I mean, Leslie got me knitting, and so I guess I can blame her for all of that.
Yeah. Well, knitting is weird because when I was in Michael's one day and they were loom knitting, and I was like, well, that's kind of cool. And I bought that stuff and I did it for like 2 days and was bored out of my mind.
I can't loom.
And then I got online and started looking at knitting. And my cousin was in town, went over to my mom's house. And my cousin was knitting. And I was like, hey, I've been looking at that. And my mom said, well, here. And she went back into her room and she pulled out one of the little, the X bag, those,
I have one.
Those collapsibles. It's around here somewhere. It was my grandmother's. It still had the last project she was working on in it.
Oh my goodness.
It had a bunch of patterns, crappy needles, all the good, beautiful things.
Yeah.
And I was hooked at that moment. So, yeah.
No pun intended. That hooked, like if you were a crocheter.
As if I was a hooker. So, yeah. So.
Kind of what you just talked about, like the knitting bag with all the stuff in the last project and the crappy needles and crappy yarn. I got one of those. It wasn't my family members. I'm the only person in my family who knit. Like, I mean, maybe my great grandmother Franklin. I bet she probably knit. She was real crafty in all ways. But anyway, I got one from an estate sale that was like still had the last project in it.
Well, I was surprised my mom had it because my mother's mother died when my mom was 16. So she somehow kept that. She had a sweater that my grandmother made her in high school or before she passed away, and my mom accidentally washed it and felted it, and it was kind of felted but not felted, and it was in that bag as well. And the lady that taught me how to read patterns, because I was self-taught on the internet, the lady at the Stitching Post, Sue, that really taught me how to read patterns, how to really knit. She fixed my purling. She fixed, weird things that I was doing. And she taught me Continental. We took it and we made my mom a pillow out of it.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's so cool.
So, yeah.
That's really sweet. Hey, who's that lady?
That's my mama.
Okay. I can't see, but there's a really cute picture over there with this bouffant hair.
Yeah.
She's adorable.
Yeah, that was my mom. My dad's picture, he was facing her.
Aww.
Yeah, and those black and white pictures. And I used to have his somewhere. But it was weird because my dad's had a beard my whole life.
And he's clean shaven.
And he's clean shaven in that picture, and it's just weird. Let me show y'all. Can you see up there? It's my mama.
So pretty. I'm like Allison when she asked the question about who was Homer.
Yeah. And then the picture next to it that I found today when I was cleaning up, that's my granny who was married to my grandpa Homer. And my Aunt Dee Dee that's in the picture with my granny.
She's cute.
Yeah.
I love old pictures.
Yeah. There's one right there for you. She said she was going to find my pictures while she was here.
Oh my God.
I hid them all. Except for this one.
Show.
Olin Mills, y'all.
I have Olin Mills pictures. Look at that cutie. That is Miss Becky right here. I love your overalls. Was it overalls or a dress or what? Remember?
That was overalls.
You were like a babe.
They were probably made by my granny because I wore clothes that my granny sewed for me all the time.
Oh my gosh. Oh, and look at your mom's brooch.
Yeah, that's funny because it's a flower. Like
it's so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah. This is a good picture. And seriously, every time I see, like, when you post on Facebook or something, like your old pictures, I'm like, Becky was like a babe. I mean, you're a babe now. But, like, seriously.
I found something.
We do not care.
Siri thought you were talking to her. Him. Because my Siri's a guy.
Ooh. No, I was not. Anyway. So I keep this now. No, I'm just kidding. I do collect family pictures of strangers, like abandoned ones I find.
Sherry does too. The Shershi, my friend Sherry, she collects vintage photos.
I have a
and
bunch.
she researches them and finds out things about them. It's really cool.
I did too. I have this photo album, and I stalked the family, and I found out about them. And
that's cool.
The parents were dead, but I even tried to see if the oldest son wanted it. He didn't.
That's sad.
It is sad, but then I'm like, I want it. You know?
So you're not that sad.
I appreciate it. Obviously, there was some weird thing there, and
yeah.
But
That's
it brings
so
me
trippy.
joy. It has some really great pictures, like from the 50s.
That's cool.
Of Halloween, and it's a good book that I got.
Cool.
Anyway.
I think that's it. Are we good?
Yeah, thank you for letting me ramble with you today. Or
Thanks
to
for coming and rambling with
you
me.
were so much better. I'm just like, I gotta get better on my own podcast because I'm pretty rambly.
I think
I need to be.
if you're recording it on your phone, that may be why you can only record a certain amount.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But we'll figure it out.
Mhm.
So, see y'all later. Maybe she'll join me again sometime.
Yeah,
She's
and
down
if
here.
you come to Dallas, we can have it. We can do it there.
We'll do one before Stitches or
Mm-hmm.
something. Cool.
Be fun.
See y'all later.
Bye.